Okay, let's continue with the next problem. In this problem, we are going to solve a min-max sum. Okay, give 5 positive integers, find the minimum and the maximum values that can be calculated by summing exactly 4 of the 5 integers. Then print the respective minimum and maximum values as a single line of 2 separated long integers. So, and as an example, we have a list, and the minimum summation of it is 16, and the maximum summation of this list is 24. So minimum and the maximum number of this summation is going to be printed out. So we have function description, then we have a min max sum method, and the solution part is already provided, so we don't need to write this part. We have to just focus on this method, writing this method. Okay, let's look at this example. It will provide, is there anything, any important part as well? Print to sum. Okay, we will just sum the 4 of the elements of 5 elements. Sum of 4 of 5 elements. Okay, input format, single line of 5 space separated. Print 2 space separated long integers denoting the respective minimum maximum values. And the output can be greater than 30-bit integers, so we can use long integer for this part. Long type. Okay. The numbers are, so we have this list, and at first one is not added, but other elements of this list is added and summed, and we get 14. And it continues like this. At the second part, we remove the 2, we remove 3, we remove 4, we remove 5. So we can have a nested loop here. The outer loop is going to the outer loop is going to provide us skipping the first element and second element, third element. The outer loop is going to provide us summation of the rest of the elements. Okay, let's continue to write the code. At first, we need to initialize and declare a long value for minimum at 0, long max value at 0. And other than that, we can initialize at what's the size of the array. Initialize and declare it as, how can we say, for example, size. Okay, the size of array is going to be size method. So we can store the size of the element at size variable. Okay, at local variable. So we need to have a for loop integer I equals to 0. So this I should be smaller than size variable. So this I should be in an increasing order. So we need to sum these elements, right? So we can declare another variable, a local variable. Let's call it long because it can be a large number. So this long variable should store the local value. This local variable should store the sum of the list. Sum of list. Let's declare it as 0. So then let's write the inner loop. If integer j at equals 0 and this j is smaller than, it should be size, right? Because we are going to just sum the elements of the element of this list. So this j is going to be in increasing order again. Okay, if I is not equal to j, what can we do for this? If I is not equal to j, then it means it will sum the rest of the elements of this array list. For example, at I equal 1, at I equal 0, j is equal 0, so 1 is dismissed and the rest of them are going to be added or summed. So we can call sum of variable list and sum with what? We should sum with the array. We should have an array list here, or it is already provided. From array list, we will get the element at what? At j, of course. So if I and j is not equal, for example, at 0, 1 is going to be dismissed or not going to be considered. The rest of them are going to be summed by using this variable. Okay. Otherwise, if I and j is equal, the number, for example, let's say I when it was 2, when j is 2, what does it mean? 0, 1, 2. Okay, this is the 2 in our list. So at this point, the second element of this is 3, so 3 is dismissed from here and we summed this list. Okay, 1, 2, 4, 5. So after this one, we need to after we sum the element of this list, we need to store this. I can store these elements in a list. Let's create a list as a type of integer, or we can just make it long. Maybe it is two large numbers, right? Because it says it can be two large numbers, more than 32 bit. So summed, let's call it summed, and let's declare class as array list. And after the inner loop, we will add, because we sum the elements at this in this loop, so we will add the result of this sum of list to sum list. Sum list dot add sum of list. Okay, that's it. So what we are going to do is finally printing out we need to print out the minimum and maximum value of this list. Print min plus max, but still we didn't match. We didn't get the maximum numbers and minimum numbers of this list. So how can we do this? We can just use, for minimum value, we can get the summed dot gets 0. However, we don't know if the first element of this list is minimum number, right? So we can just sort this sound list. Okay, let's sort this list by using sort stream API, maybe sorted sound. Okay, let's call sound, and by using stream API we can call sorted method, and of course we need to change the type of this part to a list, and therefore we can use a collect method from collectors class dot to list. Okay, that's it, I think. So we sorted the sound list. So we get the minimum number at the first element of this list. How can we get the max number of this array list? We can use sort. By the way, we need to use sorted sound list, and the first element of sorted sound list is the minimum number of the element of this array list. So from sorted sound list we will get what the size minus 1, the last element of the class, the last element of this array list. Get size, okay. And another important point is that we need to separate them by a space, with a space. Okay, let's add that comma here and let's run the code. Okay, we get an error. Equality constraints integer where t is a type variable. Okay, we have a type error. So actually sound list is a long type, right? We need to make this type as long. So let's run the code. Okay, perfect. 2 of the tests are correct. Let's submit the code. All the tests are passed successfully, so this code is running. Or this code is working.